This is CBC Nova Scotia News.
Speaking out, stabbed by a student on the job, a high school worker faces a fight for support. Screen off. Concerns over online hate push some Nova Scotia councils to halt video streaming. And closing time. Mahone Bay seniors are left worried as the town's only bank prepares to shut down.
Showers and thunderstorms ending. Back to some sunshine Wednesday into Thursday with temperatures warming. Your full forecast is coming up.
Good evening. The administrative assistant who was stabbed by a student at a Nova Scotia high school in 2023 is speaking out for the first time. In an exclusive interview with CBC News, she shares the horror that unfolded that day more than 3 years ago and how she's been fighting the systems meant to support her ever since. Selena Alders reports, and a warning, this story contains details of a violent attack.
They pulled me quite forcefully, and then they stabbed me with a knife.
Angela Light sat on the floor of her school's main office, not knowing if she would live or die. She had just been stabbed by a student. A colleague held pressure on the wound on her back while they waited for first responders to arrive. Light used her smartwatch to call her mother, but her father picked up.
I said, I need you to tell Mom that I love her, and you need to tell my son that I love him. And I love you, and you need to meet me at the hospital.
But the trauma she endured that day was only just the beginning. The administrative assistant was one of 2 employees stabbed at Charles P. Allen High School in 2023. The student assailant, who was 15 at the time, was sentenced to 2 years probation after pleading guilty to 2 counts of aggravated assault. His name is protected under the Youth Criminal Justice Act. Before the stabbing, Light worked 2 full-time jobs and earned about $81,000 per year. Now she's making about half her salary, relying on payments from the Workers' Compensation Board because she's still off work due to PTSD.
I feel like, when you're in your 20s and you're robbing Peter to pay Paul, and I have to put food back in the grocery store. It's embarrassing.
According to documents reviewed by CBC News, Light's employer, the Halifax Regional Centre for Education, has stopped contributing to her pension since she's been on leave. They've also withheld wage increases she claims she's entitled to through her collective agreement. The HRCE would not say whether these steps are protocol when an employee is on leave due to injury on the job.
Light also has concerns with how Workers' Compensation is handling her file. The board has yet to approve coverage for her to see a massage therapist or chiropractor. She says the board also will not cover a counselor recommended by her family doctor because the therapist is not one of their pre-approved service providers. No one at the Workers' Compensation Board would do an interview, but a spokesperson said if an appropriate provider is not available, the board will always do its best to secure someone suitable.
Really what we would like to see is the removal of these sort of third-party approved providers so that people can get medical care from the people that they know and trust.
This workers' rights advocate says many of her clients run into problems with workers' compensation in Nova Scotia.
The execution of the program as it is right now is not trauma-informed at all. And certainly a lot of people talk about how going through this process can be re-traumatizing, right?
So it's not just the physical and the mental wounds of that day, it's the whole process you're drugged through afterwards. And then the financial stress it puts on you it's insane.
For now, Light continues to advocate for the resources she needs to recover. She's in the process of writing a book about her story because she wants the public to know how someone's life can unravel when they're the victim of a violent crime. Selena Alders, CBC News, Cumberland County.
Cape Breton University and the Diocese of Antigonish are apologizing after a priest's comments on the reputation of residential schools. He made those comments at a recent graduation ceremony, upsetting some in attendance. Anna Rack reports.
The Diocese of Antigonish is saying it's sorry. It comes after Norman McPhee, a priest, made some controversial comments about a residential school he started in Honduras while receiving an honorary degree at one of Cape Breton University's convocations. The university posted a stream of their ceremony on their website, but have since taken it down.
And that school has worked so very, very well. The people in Sydney still support it. Thanks to you, the people of Our Lady of Fatima, for your wonderful support of the residential school. Residential schools don't get good press, but this one gets very good press in Honduras.
The comments by McPhee did not sit well with some of the members of the Indigenous community. Janice Gugu was sitting in the crowd supporting her nephew, who was one of the graduates.
There's so many other terms that they could use. Knowing, okay, we've got a priest standing up there talking all good things about residential schools and that they're now taking that to another country. From the history of what we've seen with residential schools and the Catholic being involved in them, it does not paint any type of image of positivity.
The diocese declined an interview, but in a statement says, given our history and the intergenerational trauma of residential schools in our province and country, it was most unfortunate that Father McPhee made any reference to a residential school in relation to his work in Honduras.
Kids that come there are happy, they're joyful, and they're grateful. They say what a wonderful thing it is to have a school like this.
The university also commented, saying, while we recognize the good intentions in speaking about supporting young women in Honduras, there is no residential school that should ever get good press. McPhee's church, Holy Cross Parish, says Fatima House is a boarding school for young, vulnerable women. Gugu says he should not have referred to it as a residential school, due to the harm caused by them to many families in Canada.
So you've got residential school survivors sitting in the stands. You've got first generation sitting in the stands, taking that hit, but trying to pull it together for the family that's graduating.
McPhee also declined an interview with CBC. In a statement, he later apologized, saying, my remarks offended survivors of residential schools in Canada and their families. I recognize that this is a deeply painful history, and I regret that my comments caused distress on what should have been a moment of pride and celebration for graduates and their families. Anna Rack, CBC News, Sydney.
The CEO of the Annapolis Valley Regional Library Board says they had no other choice but to close 5 libraries. The library service says they did not have enough money to keep all branches open. Hantsport, Kentville, Lawrencetown, Middleton, and Port Williams will permanently close on July 20th.
The province has provided some short-term bridge funding. However, that bridge funding was not made available this year, and the expenses have increased to the point in 26-27 that the library board had to take action to protect the long-term future of regional library service.
The library service plans to keep 6 other branches open. Merritt says provincial funding has been static for years and it's facing a structural deficit that cannot be resolved through efficiencies alone. And Ryan is back. We're here with us first for a first look at the weather, and it sounds like we're turning a corner when it comes to temperatures.
Yeah, definitely heading in the right direction, warming up as we continue throughout the day tomorrow, and then really peaking Thursday into Friday. Have a look at our high temperatures today. Single digits still in Cape Breton. As expected, it was just a little tough to get that warming there, but we were at 20 degrees at Keji. Low to mid-teens elsewhere. It was certainly an active day with scattered showers and even a few thunderstorms rolling through. Much quieter for Wednesday. Lots of sunshine on tap for tomorrow. A mix of sun and cloud here across the east and northeast in the morning, but then changing out to a mostly sunny afternoon, so things really improving there. There's the trough that's been bringing the scattered showers and thunderstorms. That will fade away as we move into Wednesday, and this area of high pressure really takes over. That high moves off to the south and east on Thursday. That will open the door and allow a stronger wind, but a southwest wind for Thursday. That will bump our temperatures into the widespread 20s. And then we're cold front watching in this frontal boundary that is going to be approaching as we move our way into late Friday into Saturday. We'll have some implications for that weekend forecast. We'll talk about that with your full forecast details coming up.
All right, talk soon. Thanks, Ryan.
Thank you.
Most Nova Scotia municipalities allow people to watch their meetings online, but there are no rules that councils must offer video. Recently, rising hate against politicians has some councils rethinking their visibility. Haley Ryan reports.
In today's online world, most Nova Scotia municipalities either live stream their meetings like this or allow people to join from platforms like Zoom. But new technologies like artificial intelligence and increasing threats against politicians have some councils turning off the camera. The town of Annapolis Royal is among the just 6 municipalities who do not have video at all. Their all-female council recently switched from video to audio recordings after some councillors raised concerns about their image being available online. They say new tools allow video to be manipulated and shared widely to amplify harassment against councillors.
It's the most convenient format for many, but there are safety concerns, and should we just ignore those? I don't think it's okay, not in this environment, not when hate is on the rise everywhere.
Alex Marland is a political science professor at Acadia University. He says audio recordings or transcripts of debates are the 21st century minimum, and video may not be the answer for every municipality.
The key point here is there a measure of transparency? And as long as you're getting what people are saying, I don't know why you have to be able to visually watch them say it.
People can always attend council in person, and minutes of meetings are also online, but they are often limited and only show if a motion passed. In the town of Oxford, Mayor Greg Henley says their videos help residents stay engaged. He says it is helpful to have meetings easily available to set the record straight for any keyboard warriors who post misleading things online.
Through open broadcast of your meetings, through our Facebook page, trying to be as transparent as possible, you try to combat that type of silliness, I guess.
The District of Guysborough on the Eastern Shore does not share video or audio of its meetings. The warden says they have a newsletter, share updates on social media, and their council is regularly covered by a local newspaper. He says residents have never asked for video streaming.
There's nothing saying that would never happen, but at this point in time, we're comfortable doing what we're doing.
When asked if the province has an ideal standard for councils, the Municipal Affairs Department said municipalities know their communities and are best positioned to decide how their meetings are conducted and shared. Haley Ryan, CBC News, Halifax.
For more than a century, the Bank of Montreal has been serving the town of Mahone Bay. But later this month, that bank will be gone, forcing those who live in the town to travel to Bridgewater to do their banking. As Logan Ring tells us, that's causing concern for some seniors in the community.
When the only bank in Mahone Bay closes down, residents will have to travel 15 to 20 minutes away to the next town, or start banking online. That's especially troubling for seniors, who make up about 40% of the town's population.
The times change, buildings become old, and we have to move on. And it's, especially for older people, it's not easy.
I do a lot of work for the fire department, so I have to drive to Bridgewater to deposit checks.
A lot of seniors don't even have their own mode of transportation, so it was hard, yeah, but life goes on.
Seniors advocate Bill Van Gorder says the bank's closure is a big loss.
They want the smaller community where everything's walkable, where they don't have to have a car because many of them are unable to drive. They don't have to depend on family and friends to take them places. And now with the bank shutting down, they have no choice.
The bank has been serving the community for more than 125 years. It was built in 1900, almost 20 years before the town was incorporated.
And it fits into the fabric of our town. We are not privy to what is going to happen. I think it will be sold, for sure.
Mayor Suzanne Lonis-Croft says she's worried about people in her community who do not have access to online banking.
Not everyone has internet. And also, there are places in Lunenburg County, we have people who live in the outlying areas who can't even get cell service. So how are they supposed to do their online banking?
In a statement to CBC News, the Bank of Montreal says the bank is changing to match consumer preferences. The mayor, however, disagrees.
I've talked to many people here. Not one person has said, I want the bank to close down so that we can go bank in Bridgewater, and that's the closest Bank of Montreal.
The bank will be closing June 19th. All accounts will automatically be transferred to the branch in Bridgewater. Logan Ring, CBC News, Mahone Bay.
Entertaining folks with some music on the Halifax waterfront. Ryan will be up next with the weather forecast. Stay with us. Okay, it's been a while, Ryan, but finally you've got some good news to share.
Yeah, that's right. Temperatures warming and yeah, just in time, right? For June, the end of May was a struggle, as we know. But yeah, certainly summer-like across the province today in terms of the skies. Temperatures still leaving us wanting a little bit, as we said, low to mid-teens for most. But the skies were active, scattered showers and thunderstorms. Have a look at our time-lapse video first and foremost. This from the Fundy Discovery site just outside of Truro, and you can see, yeah, some sunshine this morning, and then those clouds built in, yes, and a few showers. You'll see a few raindrops there on the camera. And obviously, things a little on the active side with those showers rolling through for this afternoon. And then just as quickly as it came in, back to the sunshine for this afternoon. So thanks to Nova Scotia webcams for this. Look at the sunshine. Beautiful. Beautiful shot here at the Fundy Discovery site in Truro. Not so nice in the Halifax area. As you can see, the sky is looking very, very dark. And big shout out to our switcher director, Frank, for getting this shot for me with just seconds to spare. As I said, hey, can you do this? And of course he can. Yeah, you can see looking pretty dark there off to the north, looking to the north in the Halifax area. And here is why, as we look back at the radar, this is, again, most of the action pushing to the south and east this afternoon, but this line here, which is working its way into the Halifax area as we speak, and you can see some lightning strikes being detected up towards the Fall River Sackville area, and this will likely have some steady downpours coming in, especially out towards the Hammonds Plains area and St. Margaret's Bay, but even back towards eastern Halifax County as well. Some steady downpours with this as this all works its way eventually off the coast and will be gone through this evening. But yes, active for sure. Feeling summer-like in that regard, no question. So have a look at this area of high pressure. That's the one that's going to be moving in, quietening things down. And we've got this next latest low pressure system starting to work its way in as we work our way towards the weekend. We'll time all that out. First and foremost, temperatures tonight are going to be ranging between 2 and 6 degrees. Any shower and thunderstorm chances will come to an end, as I said, through this evening. Let's time it out. Forecast model actually doing a pretty good job with this, and you'll note by 10 o'clock this action is all long gone offshore, and we are looking at overall pretty quiet conditions overnight. Now, tomorrow morning, it's likely a mix of sun and cloud to even mainly cloudy skies to start the day. Cape Breton, Antigonish, Guysborough, Pictou, and up that Northumberland shore, but pretty quickly becoming a mix of sun and cloud throughout the morning and into the afternoon, mostly sunny skies. And it's a mostly sunny day from start to finish for central and western parts of the province. Sea breezes, they're going to be a factor tomorrow, no question, when we talk about the temperatures. Inland areas of Cape Breton, 15, 16, 17. But the water temperatures, again, just 4, 5, 6 degrees around the island. So that's going to have an influence on those temperatures closer to the coastline. We're going to be into the mid-teens for eastern parts of the mainland, into central areas. Temperatures will range between near 13 to 15 closer to the coastline, 17 to 20, even 22 degrees inland. Enfield, one of our warmer spots tomorrow. Same thing back through the Annapolis Valley into the Kedzie area, 22 to 23, and a sea breeze setting up along that South Shore region. Now, high pressure moving off to the south and east. It's a southwest flow moving in for Thursday. And so, yes, it's going to be breezy, gusting 40 to 50, 30 to 40 kilometers per hour on Thursday, maybe some coastal gusts to 50. But overall, the big theme is going to be the warmth. How about this? Temperatures will range between 22 and 27 for inland areas. We'll be closer to the high teens, low 20s near the coastline in that southwest flow. And then we're tracking this frontal boundary. Now, it looks like it's going to stay to the north for Friday. Our winds should be favorable for most, bit of a sea breeze setting up along that Northumberland shore. But this system is looking like it's going to be arriving later. So what does that mean? Well, now, based the latest weekend forecast, it looks like we'll increase the clouds through Saturday, but stay dry until the late day, Saturday evening, overnight. Lingering showers into Sunday, especially in the morning, but maybe some sunshine reappearing into the afternoon. We'll break down that timing, obviously, as we get closer. But temperatures riding into the mid to high teens for the weekend, Amy.
Absolutely in the right direction.
Yep.
Okay. Thank you, Ryan.
Thank you.
Well, ever wondered how an aquarium gets its animals and how do they take care of them? For Ocean Week, staff at the BD Center in Halifax explained how it cares for its marine residents. The CBC's Juliana Grillo has this story.
What do you think the animals in the aquarium eat?
Meat.
What about you?
Rocks. I think for dessert they eat grass.
And what do they do all day?
I feel like they have friends and like they swim with their buddies.
Do you think the starfish, what do you think their day looks like?
A mess.
The starfish decline to comment on their fishy lives, but I was able to talk to one of the animal caretakers at the BD Marine Center to ask her some of the burning questions the kids had. Like, do fish eat 3 times a day like we do?
So some of the fish in here, like the lumpfish and the mackerel, they get fed every day, but the larger fish here we feed 3 times a week, and we'll prepare them different types of food, like shrimp and fish. And we actually have to use a feeding pole because most of them are hanging out at the bottom. And it's like a long stick with a target on the end that we've trained the animals to recognize. And we'll put the piece of food on the end, stick it in the tank as close to them as possible, and they'll take the food off the stick.
To kick off Ocean Week, Sernowski made herself available to answer visitors' questions. She showed what some of the marine species she cares for eat. Some of their snacks so small they can only be seen through a microscope. But what comes in must come out. And one key to keeping the aquatic creatures happy is making sure their tanks are free of waste and algae. For that, the center pumps in a steady flow of ocean water from the northwest arm. And much like human sewage,
And any of the used seawater is cleaned and then goes back out.
Sernowski doesn't just care for the creatures while they're here. She handpicked some of them herself. Dressed in her scuba gear, she found them in the water and brought them back to the aquarium. But some of the aquarium's favorites, like Indigo the blue lobster, were gifted to them.
So this guy we actually got from a lobster fisherman in Yarmouth. He caught it on his boat and he contacted us because he thought we might like to have it on display. So we kept it on his boat in a cooler for a few weeks until he could get it to us. So we drove down and met him, and that's how the blue lobster who came to the aquarium.
While the kids might not have known exactly what the creatures here like to eat, they did get one thing right. It turns out, many of them spend their days hanging out and swimming with their buddies. Juliana Grillo, CBC News, Halifax.
Coming up, the Annapolis Valley Regional Library Board says without more funding, they have no choice but to permanently shut down 5 libraries this summer. 5 libraries in the Annapolis Valley are slated to close this summer, citing inadequate funding. Branches in Hantsport, Kentville, Lawrencetown, Port Williams, and Middleton will stop operating in July. For more on this, we're joined by Julia Merritt, CEO of the Annapolis Valley Regional Library Board. First off, how and when did you reach this decision to close these branches?
This is a decision that has been multiple years in the making. The AVRL has been in communication since 2023 with the provincial government, forecasting that the funding formula was not going to be sufficient going forward. And so we've been in continuous dialogue with the province since then about the ongoing needs, increasing costs, and so on. And so the library has taken steps to reduce its expenses in the meantime, and the province has provided some short-term bridge funding. However, that bridge funding was not made available this year, and the expenses have increased to the point in 26-27 that the library board had to take action to protect the long-term future of regional library service.
Well, what was the argument you put to the province for additional funding? I know you said expenses were going up, but could you go a bit more in depth on that?
Funding has remained flat for Nova Scotia Public Libraries since the 2019-2020 year. So there has not been any increases for inflation during that time, which has increased pressure significantly among rising minimum wage increases and so on. And the library has really been working to make sure that we're being responsible with our funding. But when the decision was made for the provincial budget for 26-27 to not provide bridge funding and to not increase for inflation, the board simply just wasn't able to make any other decision.
Well, how much more money would the branches need to stay open?
So the preliminary deficit was $625,000 on a budget of $2.7 million, and the AVRL made separate and individual requests to all 8 of our funding partner municipalities in the region, and they all did agree to contribute some additional funds for this year. And so taken together with some additional internal reductions, we reduced the deficit to about $325,000. But unfortunately, that's just not going to be sustainable. And so the board has to take action this year.
Well, what happens to the money from municipalities, in particular for those towns whose branches are closing?
The board has accounted for that and will not be billing for the remainder of the year. So that is accounted for in the rest of the year's projection.
The Kentville mayor says that the town's branch there is the most heavily used in the system, and he's finding it hard to understand why it would be selected for closure. What do you say there?
The decision was really made by the board looking at the regional system as a whole, including geography, population distribution, service overlap, and then financial sustainability. So there are currently 3 building library branches within a relatively small radius in that Eastern Kings corridor. And so the decision was taken in tandem with looking at all of those factors together. So the Kentville branch and then Wolfville branch are equivalent in circulation and also physical size. So there are a lot of equivalencies there, and the board had to make a decision not being able to maintain more than one location in that specific area of the region.
Well, how many staff members will be impacted by this?
So there's a total of 23 staff members who are being impacted by the restructuring. Not all of those employees will be ultimately laid off, as the employees are unionized, and there will be a system-wide bumping process. And so there will be some positions that are new and that will be taken on by people who are affected at branches that are closing and so on. But we will be reducing as a whole by 9.6 FTEs. So that's about another 25%. So in total, in the last 10 years, the staffing complement will have been reduced by nearly 50% at AVRL.
Now, the Library Service has been urging the public to contact local and provincial politicians to advocate for the libraries. Did they not heed your call?
Unfortunately, they did not in a way that provided sustainable operating funding to the libraries. We were thankful not to see a reduction to the core library funding for the 26-27 year, but there was not a response to the call for increase, despite having provided the province with costed assessments of what is needed at Nova Scotia's public libraries back in 2024.
Is there any chance these closures could be reversed?
Well, the board is certainly open to having discussion and conversation about what public library service should look like. Depends on what the governments involved want to see in terms of levels of service in their area. So the library board is providing the service and has agreed to operate responsibly within the funding envelope that it has. But if the governments want to see an increased level of service, then the board is certainly open to that conversation.
All right, we will have to leave it there. Julia Merritt, thank you very much for your time today.
Thank you.
Coming up, Israel and Hezbollah have accepted a partial ceasefire in Lebanon, but clashes continue along the border. And an experimental drug that doubles survival time for people with pancreatic cancer is being hailed as a breakthrough. Welcome back. Clashes continue between Israel and Hezbollah the day after Donald Trump said both sides agreed to dial back fighting. The militant group launched drone and artillery attacks, and Israel carried out new strikes inside the Lebanon border. Willie Lowry is in Jerusalem with the latest.
The gist of this partial ceasefire, and emphasis on partial, is that Israel will spare the Lebanese capital, Beirut, and in exchange, Hezbollah will stop attacking Israel. But since U.S. President Donald Trump announced the agreement last night, the two have exchanged fire. All of this taking place after President Trump spoke by phone with Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu and through intermediaries with Hezbollah. Now, Trump on social media described his conversation with Netanyahu as very productive, but according to a report in Axios, it was in fact a very tense and expletive-laden conversation. Trump called the Israeli Prime Minister crazy. Netanyahu, for his part, on social media, said that he told Trump if Hezbollah attacks Israeli citizens or communities, Israel will respond by targeting Hezbollah in the Dahieh, the southern suburb of Beirut. Netanyahu adding that Israel will continue carrying out its military offensive in southern Lebanon. But perhaps the most revealing aspect of just what this ceasefire means came from the Lebanese embassy in Washington. They said on social media, quote, "Under the proposed arrangement, Israeli strikes on Beirut's southern suburbs would cease in exchange for Hezbollah refraining from carrying out attacks against Israel, with the ceasefire framework to be expanded to encompass all Lebanese territories." Now, it is the end of that sentence that is perhaps the most important point here, suggesting that this partial ceasefire may be a bridge to a more complete and permanent ceasefire. We know that there are ongoing diplomatic negotiations taking place between Lebanon and Israel. Representatives from both countries met at the State Department yesterday in Washington, and they are expected to meet again later today. Willie Lowry, CBC News, Jerusalem.
Russia had warned for more than a week that a big attack was coming, and overnight it landed in the form of missiles and drone strikes on Ukrainian cities. Authorities say at least 22 civilians were killed. Anna Cunningham has the latest and a warning. Her report contains graphic images.
This Russian attack lasted hours. Through the night and into the morning, Russian drones and missiles raining down on the capital, Kyiv. The numbers designed to overpower Ukraine's air defences. Explosions starting fires in areas that were hit. Other cities were also targeted, from Kharkiv, Sumy to Zaporizhia. Russia consistently argues that it only targets military sites and infrastructure. Just a warning, this next footage you may find distressing. It was reportedly filmed in the region of Dnipropetrovsk by the Ukrainian emergency services. The woman you see still in her nightdress. She was dug out from the rubble of her apartment. It was reportedly a 4-storey block, now flattened. Emergency workers used sniffer dogs amid the debris to search for signs of life, locating her. For those who did get to shelter in time in Kyiv, many spent it underground in train stations, some bringing sleeping bags, tents, or simply sitting up all night in camping chairs. Russia says these latest attacks were a retaliation for a strike last week in Luhansk, an area of eastern Ukraine that Russia occupies. Ukraine denies it was behind a strike there on a student dormitory. But President Volodymyr Zelensky has once again reiterated his call for Patriot missiles and defence systems from the US to secure Ukraine's skies. The UK's biggest spy agency, GCHQ, reported last week that it has intelligence showing some 500,000 Russians have died in this war. If you add that to the suggestions that Russia is no longer advancing on the battlefield, this may be why the Kremlin has chosen to accelerate attacks on Ukraine from the skies. Anna Cunningham, CBC News, London.
Canada's Minister of Trade, Dominic LeBlanc, sat down with U.S. Trade Representative Jameson Greer. The high-level meeting in Washington is in advance of trade negotiations next month between Canada, Mexico, and the U.S. No word yet from that discussion, but the Prime Minister made it clear the Americans aren't the only ones who want changes to the current trade deal.
In terms of the discussions with the U.S., there's a series of issues, technical issues that they have with Mexico, they have with us, which is why there's a bifurcated discussion. So 30 issues or so with us, more than almost 60, I think, with Mexico at current count. And so we're working through a series of those issues.
Canada says it wants the trade agreement renewed, but to also include auto, steel, aluminum, and forestry products. Officials in Quebec say a 3-year-old girl has died after being critically injured in an accident involving a bouncy castle over the weekend. Sudden, strong wind gusts tossed the inflatable into the air while parents and kids were inside. It all happened at a community event organized by a local church on Sunday afternoon. 11 people in total were injured. 6 were taken to hospital for treatment. The coroner's office says they're launching an investigation. Doctors and scientists are celebrating a new drug that dramatically increases the survival time for patients with one of the deadliest cancers. Christine Birak reports.
Rarely does a cancer drug get a standing ovation from scientists and doctors.
And we're all standing there in this massive room crying It was really quite wonderful. I just have to say that I'm still emotional about it.
For decades, metastatic pancreatic cancer has been one of the deadliest diagnoses. There's still no cure, but now there's new hope. American Debbie Orcutt has stage 4 pancreatic cancer. As part of a trial, she's been taking the new drug, daraxonrasib.
I knew my diagnosis was bad, so what have I got to lose?
In a newly published study, 500 patients were randomly assigned to receive daraxonrasib or chemotherapy as a second-line treatment. On average, the new drug helped people live about twice as long as standard chemotherapy, about 13 months instead of 6 to 7.
It targets this mutation called RAS, which is driving pancreas cancer in over 95% of the cases, and it was thought to be undruggable.
You can think of RAS as a family of genes that make proteins acting like on-off switches to control cell growth. In pancreatic cancer, one of those switches gets stuck in the on position and keeps telling the cells to grow out of control. Daraxonrasib works by blocking that broken switch, effectively cutting power to the cancer.
Let's go.
Orcutt was diagnosed 2 years ago. The drug appears to be working.
Believe me, it's not lost on me. I just feel like God's given me another chance. You better make the most of it and do all good things.
While found to be less toxic than traditional chemotherapy, common side effects of the new drug are blistering skin rashes and mouth sores.
And some concerns about the side effects, because the side effects do look like it's going to take a lot of learning on our part as well. Are people going to afford it?
There is no price tag yet, and the drug hasn't been approved by the FDA or even submitted to Health Canada for review. But Canadian doctors we spoke with say if all goes smoothly, patients could have access to it in about a year. Christine Birak, CBC News, Toronto.
With the World Cup just over a week away, FIFA continues to face scrutiny over their ticketing practices. As the CBC's Troy Charles tells us, some people are feeling misled about ticket prices and seat locations.
I think that's a match for Luka.
Earlier this year, Payam Sabzmadani jumped at the opportunity to take his son and wife to a World Cup match. He bought 3 tickets for $980 each to attend Canada's game against Switzerland at BC Place. The tickets were sold as Category 1, which is why he was surprised when he was emailed his seats and FIFA placed him at the very top of the lower bowl behind the net.
But I know, from behind the goal, you basically don't see much of the other side of the field.
According to FIFA, Category 1 tickets mean the highest price and closest to the field.
I paid this much price for those tickets, and we're getting a seat that I don't know. I wouldn't say it's definitely not Category 1.
And he is not alone.
The investigation will focus on those who complained they were misled about ticket locations.
Last week, a subpoena was filed by the states of New York and New Jersey as part of an investigation into the pricing and accuracy of seat locations for the World Cup. New Jersey's MetLife Stadium will host the World Cup final. This Vancouver ticket broker is not surprised by FIFA's tactics.
It's a natural progression from where they started to where they're at right now. You can see that eventually it's going to come to this. Complete manipulation, total control.
The province says if someone believes a ticket seller has violated BC's ticket sales laws, they should contact Consumer Protection BC.
People should have the utmost confidence when they are buying event tickets.
In an email to CBC, a FIFA spokesperson defended its ticket pricing, stating that in December it slashed prices on some tickets for each participating country.
You feel like this is a very scarce thing. This is a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity, and you just pay probably much more than you would have.
Now, with all that in mind, if you still want to be on the other side of this beautiful fence come match day, you still can. Right now on the FIFA website, the cheapest nosebleed ticket for Canada's first match against Qatar, that'll cost you $770. Troy Charles, CBC News, Vancouver.
A growing number of young Canadians are trying to forge careers in skilled trades. But for many, apprenticeships can be hard to come by. The CBC's Dina Sumanak-Johnson looks at the new initiatives aimed at fixing that problem.
They call it the Olympics of Skilled Trades. Skills Canada is a national competition for young Canadians passionate about trades like welding, carpentry, and in the case of 17-year-old Peyton Miller-Plante, auto painting. She's already won a number of regional competitions.
It is a great time to become part of the skilled trades. I would say for painting specifically, if you're artistic and you want to be creative, but also like the labor side of things where you're working with your hands all the time.
She's part of a growing trend of young people opting for skilled trades. According to Statistics Canada, in 2024, 5.9% more people registered for apprenticeships than the year before. But getting to that important step and completing it remains difficult.
We need more people in skilled trades, and that's what we hear everywhere. And then on the other hand, we have employers that are still a bit reticent to hire that new level 1 apprentice.
It's a problem the federal government says it's aware of.
We need to make it easier for people to go into the trades, young women and men to go into the trades.
In the new spring economic update, Ottawa earmarked $6 billion to hire 100,000 new skilled trade workers, which includes providing incentives for companies to take on new apprentices.
What you see here is excellence at work.
This head of training for a major union says it's a great start.
Our ask of the federal government was checks and balances need to be in place. Having a national database for tradespeople, number one. Number two, checks and balances for entities that receive funding to deliver pre-entry pathways. Let's keep them accountable.
But challenges aside, these teens feel like they've already won the lottery.
Going into high school, I was like, oh, I'm going to be an engineer. But here I am in the trades now, doing cabinet making, and I love it.
Finding work that may lead to a career, one they also enjoy. Deanna Sumanak-Johnson, CBC News, Toronto.
And we are back, and we were talking during the break, a few rumbles of thunder outside our studio.
Yeah, some rumbles of thunder rolling across a good portion of the province this afternoon into this evening. As this latest frontal boundary, or trough, I should say, moves through the region, excuse me, just kicking up a little bit of instability, and that is going to be moving out, and we're on the clearing trend as we move into tomorrow and Thursday and Friday. Have a look first and foremost at our viewer picture of the day, and a beautiful one. This one, you know what time of year it is.
Yes,
Port
I
Williams,
do.
apple blossom season.
Beautiful.
Yeah, terrific. Cal Collins with this fantastic picture. So nice to see those trees out in blossom like that. Hopefully it's going to be a bumper year for apples.
Yeah.
Fingers and toes crossed that the rains
sunshine will help.
come. The sun will help for sure. Have a look at our temperatures for tomorrow. Should be around 22 degrees in Port Williams and Kentville and right through the Annapolis Valley tomorrow. Temperatures ranging between 17 to 21 for most. We're going to be looking at temperatures around 13 to 15 for most of Cape Breton, but I do think we'll see some inland temperatures around 17 and around the Bredora Lakes area. And then for Thursday, yeah, noticeably warmer. Noticeably breezier as well. The southwest winds will be sustained near 20, gusting 30 to 40 kilometers per hour. So that will add a little bit of a breeze, but obviously we'll be pumping in the mild stuff. There go those showers and thunderstorms. You can see high pressure will dominate for the next few days, and we'll ride the sunshine train. At this point, it looks like late day showers arriving Saturday, and that will then gradually clear throughout the day on Sunday. We'll keep you posted on that.
Threading the needle, right?
Yeah.
All right, chasing glory tile by tile in Thailand. One of the world's biggest Scrabble tournaments has just wrapped up in Bangkok. Part memory, part luck, analytics, and mathematics, the Causeway Scrabble Challenge brought together nearly 500 word nerds from 30 countries, vying for a top prize of $10,000 US.
The 2026 Premier Division in Bangkok was won by Australian Grandmaster and former world champion David Elder. He clinched the championship after a grueling 36-game schedule.
That's a long game.
Yeah.
All right, that is it for us tonight. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.
Take care.